1,851 booster packs later, and we have done it. We have completed the Fan Clan Master Set for Temporal Forces. 1,851 booster packs. Absolutely crazy. And now we're going to give it to one of you. That is right. It is the Fan Clan Master Set. So that means it gets to go to one of you lucky subscribers. This whole thing, this whole binder is going to be yours. All the reverse hollows, all the commons and uncommons, the holo rares, the double rares, the ultra rares, the illustration rares, the special illustration rares, the hyper rares. There are so many rarities are going to go to one lucky subscriber. I do have to rebinder it. I have one fantastic subscriber, huge shout out to them, is making a special custom binder for Temporal Forces. It's going to be etched and everything. It's going to look absolutely amazing. That should arrive tomorrow, and then I will transfer all these goodies over to that binder, and then in a couple weeks it's going to be given to one of you. Here's what you have to do if you want to win. Make sure you're subscribed. That is step number one. The Fan Clan Master Set goes to one lucky subscriber, so make sure you hit that subscribe button down below if you are not already subscribed, and then just leave a like and a comment on this video. That's all you have to do. That way the random comment picker can do its thing. We are going to announce the winner at the beginning of the video that releases on Friday, April 5th. So 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow if you're watching this Master Set video on the day it releases. So just hit that subscribe button down below and then leave a like and a comment on this video. Come back Friday, April 5th to see if you are the winner. I am really excited for Temporal Forces. We're going to talk about Temporal Forces, the Master Set, in this video, and I'm going to flip you guys around because I do have a little bit of a presentation before we go through the actual Master Set itself. But I do want to start out, because there's going to be some negative stuff in this video, but I do want to start out by saying that I do love collecting Pokemon cards. I do love opening Pokemon cards, and I loved opening Temporal Forces. So even though there are some drawbacks, I was super excited for Temporal Forces. I love the idea behind Paradox Pokemon. I loved Paradox Rift. I think the Paradox Pokemon look absolutely amazing. It's a great gimmick. It's a great gimmick to help get us through Scarlet and Violet a little bit more until Pokemon kind of releases their next banger of ideas. And I think the illustration rares, the special illustration rares, even the artwork all the way down to the commons and uncommons is just absolutely phenomenal. I love looking at the artwork. The storytelling is just absolutely fantastic. And I was, like I said, really excited for Temporal Forces. But after getting it in and opening up a little bit of Temporal Forces, I was pleasantly, or I shouldn't say pleasantly, I was surprised a little bit by things that it felt like we were taking some steps backwards, and that's very, very unfortunate. And we're going to get to most of those things in this video. We will have a full pull rate video breakdown tomorrow, but I would be remiss if I didn't explain pull rates a little bit in this video. But I will have all the data calculated so that way you can make the best decisions when it comes to opening Temporal Forces tomorrow. I still like Temporal Forces. Like, it still ranks number 3 on my list, and it's firmly cemented in number 3 for the Scarlet and Violet block. I do like it less than Paldea Evolve. That's still number 1. I do like it less than Paradox Rift. That's still number 2. But right there in the 3rd spot, I still put it ahead of Scarlet and Violet base. I still put it ahead of Obsidian Flames. Originally, when I looked at the set list and noticed there was only 10 special illustration rares, I was like, okay, this won't be too bad. If you look at Obsidian Flames, so 1,851 packs to master this set, which is the most of any Scarlet and Violet set so far, any of the main series Scarlet and Violet set. Obsidian Flames, which only had 6 special illustration rares, only took 468 packs for us to master, and that was a little bit on the high end, 468 packs. So I figure, okay, well, as long as they continue doing a special illustration rare or a hyper rare per box, like, everything's gonna be fine. I'll master this set in like maybe 1,000 packs. I didn't think it would take me 1,851 packs. To give you an idea, 1,851 packs is pretty equal to what it took to master Brilliant Stars, Astral Radiance, Silver Tempest, so it's much closer to the level of what we saw during the Sword and Shield era. Even a set like Paldea Evolved only took about 1,400 packs to master. When you consider the amount of illustration rares and special illustration rares in that set, it's crazy. So if we look, this is a smaller set, only 22 illustration rares compared to 34 illustration rares that were in Paradox Rift. Yet Paradox Rift took way less packs to master, 10 special illustration rares as opposed to 15 special illustration rares that were in Paradox Rift. 6 hyper rares compared to 7 hyper rares that were in Paradox Rift. So much, much less when it comes to those higher rarity cards, which in my mind felt like, okay, well, this is going to take much less as far as packs go to master. But then Pokemon was like, Fanny, hold the phone for a second, we're going to change things. And I do feel very confident being able to say that pull rates have changed. They have gone backwards, much more like what we saw at the end of Sword and Shield. I don't know if they're that bad or not. We'll have full calculations, like I said, in tomorrow's video. But I took pictures of the first 20 booster boxes that I opened, so that way I could record a video going over pricing and talking about, like what we normally do, talking about the loss that you are going to accrue just by opening up booster boxes of Pokemon cards. So I took 20 booster boxes, opened them up, and then took photos. 8 out of those 20 boxes had no special illustration rare and no hyper rare. That's 40%. So basically, 2 out of your 6 booster boxes in a case are not going to contain one of those upper echelon of rarity cards. No special illustration rare, no hyper rare. If you go back to Paldea Evolved, which I understand had a lot more of those upper rarity cards, you were getting basically 2 special illustration rares per booster box, or at least 1 special illustration rare and 1 hyper rare. Even Obsidian Flames and Paradox Rift, you were basically guaranteed either a hyper rare or you were guaranteed a special illustration rare in every single booster box. So to take steps backwards, where it's only 40% of the boxes, 60% of the boxes basically are going to have that in, it felt really weird to me. So that was a bit of a downer, and I understand the whole, some people are going to be happy with that because that means that singles are going to be more expensive. They're going to be a little bit more value, worth a little bit more. The jury is very much out on that. If you look at the single prices for pre-order when it comes to Temporal Forces, they're lower than what they were for Paradox Rift. They're much lower than what they were for Paradox Rift. For some of those upper echelon, like Roaring Moon was over $100. Iron Leaves is still pretty expensive, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of super expensive cards. Now, it could be that they start out a little bit lower and then go up a little bit higher as people are like, well, pull rates are a little bit more expensive, but there's still going to be a ton of this set open. There's still going to be a giant amount. So there's still going to be a lot of singles out there. Quality control, unfortunately, was still not ideal. And we're going to look at the top picture. I had a lot of crimped cards. So this is just 3 crimped cards that I pulled out, different rarities, right? So a basic energy card. These were different packs, as you can tell. The hollow rare Drampa right there, crimped at the top. The Slugma had a terrible crimp at the bottom there. So that happened quite a bit. We still have issues with edging. We still have issues with centering. Still a lot of problems. The big problem that I noticed was a rewind back to what it reminded me of Darkness Ablaze, when Darkness Ablaze first came out, and then the reprint of Darkness Ablaze, and even Vivid Voltage. The wrapping on the booster boxes was terrible. And this didn't happen with every booster box. Some of them were very tight. Some of them came out of the case and they were super tightly wrapped. But I would say at least half of the booster boxes that we pulled out of cases had this terrible wrapping where you can see just a lot of excess clean. And you might say, Fanny, that's not a big deal. Like, who cares? People are opening their booster boxes anyways. That's not always the case. That is not always the case. Some people do not open their booster boxes at all. Some people just put them in a closet, or they put them on display in a little acrylic case. Some people just want it for their seal collection. Also, when you are buying from a new store for the first time, like, you worry about scams, you worry about issues, you worry about people resealing boxes. Like, you hear about this in Japan all the time. You hear about people buying Japanese Pokemon cards and then sending them over here, and then all of a sudden you open them up and you've got, any kind of pack in there that's not the pack that you wanted, or in some cases like a juice box carton, or whatever the case may be. So having a seal like this kind of hurts storefronts, because if you've never ordered from that storefront before, you're a little bit nervous because you're like, well, why is the cling like this? What's going on? It kind of brings things down. And you might be saying like, okay, well then they can discount those booster boxes. Unfortunately, when the booster boxes are already selling very close to wholesale, you can't really discount them anymore. So in some cases like this, people might have to break them open and just sell them by the loose pack, because it does not look good. So that unfortunately is very disappointing. A couple additional notes before we go into the actual master set. The double bangers return. Kind of. It's not really a return of double bangers. So we had 1 booster pack that we opened out of 2,000 packs, right? So over 2,000 packs is what we actually ended up opening. 1 booster pack had a true double banger. That's it. We used to get a few per booster box. And we talked about this kind of going away with Paradox Rift, and then we talked about it a little bit more in Paldean Fates. And now it seems very solidified that they are not doing double bangers anymore at all. Like, it's very, very rare for you to pull an illustration illustration rare and then a double rare behind it, or an illustration rare and then an ultra rare behind it, like in that second to last and that last spot in the booster pack. It was not common, but it did happen occasionally where you pulled an ace spec and then right behind it you pulled an illustration rare or a special illustration rare. That happened, so that's kind of a double banger, right? Because you pull that ace spec, which we count as ultra rares, but Pokemon just bulks them in with the trainers, so their number is just a trainer number, not necessarily like a secret rare number. Their number is just with the trainers in the ETB booklet. So you kind of get double bangers back, or at least you get the feel of double bangers. But once we get through a set that doesn't have ace specs in it, it's going to feel a lot more like Paradox Rift, where you don't have those true traditional double bangers that we've gotten used to really since the trainer gallery sets started releasing back with Brilliant Stars. And also batching continues to be an issue, almost worse in some ways, because now you're getting duplicates of full art. So like this box right here, this was a booster box that we opened up. It had 2 full art Salvators. 2 full art Salvators seems a little weird. You do normally get 2 ace specs in a booster box. This one had 3. The one that we opened up after this one from the same case only had 1, so it still averages out, but batching seems to be all over the place, and that still continues to baffle my mind, because Pokemon stands by the fact that they do not seed booster boxes at all. Booster boxes are not guaranteed. It's very different, so batching continues to be an issue. A lot of times in the past I've seen it happen a lot with regular arts, but this set it happened more frequently with ultra rares, with those full arts where you got 2 of the same full art trainer or full art Pokemon in the same booster box, which is a little weird. So batching continue. That's all quality control in my mind. Like, that's all quality control things. If they weren't seeded, why is it like clockwork that you get basically 2 ace specs per booster box, or clockwork basically where you get 3 illustration rares? You're still going to get 3. The big difference with pull rates is that you're going to get more of those regular arts, more of those double rares that you see at the bottom there. So in this case we got 6. A lot of times you'll get 7. Very rarely, but seldomly, it does happen that you'll get 5. So a lot of things different with Temporal Forces. There's a lot of things to unpack, and with those negative things, the quality control issues, that kind of put me back a little bit as far as my desire to continue opening more and more Temporal Forces, because as much as I enjoy the artwork and as much as I enjoy the hits, it's not as fun opening a card that's crimped, or it's not as fun as opening up a card that's got edging issues, or you look at these booster boxes and continue to crack cases and you see all these cellophane issues. It's just not ideal. And then if you open up booster boxes knowing you're like, there's a 60% chance or a 40% chance that you're not going to get a special illustration rare or a hyper rare, it's like, okay, well, I'm not going to get one of the big rarities, or, you know, it's 50-50 that I'm going to get one of the big rarities. It brings things down a little bit. So as much as I love Temporal Forces, these were things that kind of turned me off a little bit, and I wanted to explain it so that way you can make the best decision when it comes to opening up Temporal Forces. I hope that's okay. Like, I just wanted to make sure that all the information is out there. I don't want to sound negative or anything like that, so I still do like the set, but I do think it's important that everybody knows that, because I want you to make the best decision when it comes to opening up Temporal Forces. So here's the Master Set. I got rid of my ugly mug so that way it didn't get in your way right here. I'm going to try my best because my camera setup is still not good, despite the fact that I've been doing this for 3 years. So the way that I fill out master sets, you will need a 480 count binder. So you will need a binder that's got 12 up on a page, basically. A lot of Ultra Pro binders. This is just a basic Volt X binder right here. A lot of those more traditional binders just have 9 up on a page. You just have 3 rows here. This is more commonly referred to as a playset binder, or 12 up, or a 480 count. You will need 480 if you want to put the cards side by side. Some people will only use a 9-up binder, and then they will put the reverse hollows on top of the non-reverse hollows. So just like this reverse hollow Scyther would be on top of this in order to master set. My idea of a master set is a set that has basically any card that you can pull from a booster pack. Now, I know a lot of people will put promos and things like that in them. That's fine. You can call a master set what you want, but in my mind, a master set is just every card that you can possibly pull from a booster pack. So we've got all of that laid out here, all of the reverse hollows. There's not a ton of regular art or double rare cards in the set. We have Torterra EX right down here at the bottom. Like I said, I'm going to try my best in order to get everything in here. So we've got a Sawsbuck that's trying to leave the page right there. But yeah, not a whole lot of ultra rares when it comes to the regular arts. There's Scovillain over there. Iron Leaves is down here. This is a really cool looking Rabsca over here. The other thing with this set is there's not a lot of duplicate artworks, or a lot of duplicate Pokemon with different artworks, I should say. Like Great Tusk does have one. Other than that, I think Iron Valiant has one, but other than that, there's not a whole lot of other ones. Gouging Fire is right over here. Gouging Fire is really cool. Incineroar EX right at the top over here. You can't really see it too well, but like I said, I'm trying my best to make sure I fit everything in here. I love the way the Sharpedo looks over here and the Carvanha over there. Very cool looking. You've got the return for Alligator. Even the Totodile over here looks super sick. Lots of really cool artwork, even on just the regular arts. You've got your boy Wiglet over here, Walking Wake down at the bottom right over here next to Palafin, and then it's got a Pikachu in the set, a Raichu in the set, and then we move on to the rest of the Lightning Pokemon over here. Then we go back to Wugtrio EX, which is a Lightning variant, as opposed to, it's a Terra variant, we should call it, as opposed to the Water variant of Wiglet. Iron Hands, Iron Thorns. You do get the Iron Thorns promo in one of the Elite Trainer boxes. Then we move into the Psychic Pokemon over here with Latias and Bronzong, and you've got really no Ultra Rares on this page at all. And then you move over to Fluttermane, which is the other ETB promo. Screamtail, really cool Paradox Pokemon. Here's the two different variants of Iron Valiant right over here. And then you move into Iron Crown EX right down at the bottom, which is a really cool looking artwork. No fighting Ultra Rares on either of these pages. So this is basically just common, uncommon, holo rare on these couple of pages here, all the way up until Iron Boulder EX, which is down over here. So here's the two different variants of Great Tusk right here. One of them should be a lot better competitively than the other one. This Landclaps one is kind of a mill option. And then you've got Iron Boulder down here. And then we move into the Dark Pokemon with Gengar EX over here. I love the artwork on this card. Watching Gengar basically like launch off the cardboard looks fantastic in my mind. And then we move into Roaring Moon. We've got a Ferrograph Terra right up in the corner over here. And then Scizor EX kind of seems a little bit out of place in this set, but I mean, I like Scizor, so that's totally fine. Then you've got reprints basically of Koraidon and Miraidon, obviously the staples or the mascots of the Scarlet and Violet era, so we have seen a lot of printings of Koraidon and Miraidon. And here's Raging Bolt EX. You can let me know in the comments section if that's what your comment you want to place is what you think of Raging Bolt. That long neck just gets you. I like it. Long neck really gets you. Chatot over here is pretty cool. And then we move into the A-Specs. So we've got no other Ultra Rares on this page. And then you've got 7 A-Specs in this set. You can only play one A-Spec in your deck. So you have to basically choose one, and that's the one that you play in your deck. So you've got Awakening Drum over there. Buddy Buddy Puffin is probably the best trainer card in the set when it comes to competitive playability. At least as of right now, that's the thought process behind it. At the bottom here, you've got Hero's Cape, and you've got Master Ball right over here. And then we've got the other 3 A-Specs on this page over here with Maximum Belt, Prime Catcher, and Reboot Pod right there. And then we move in to Neo Upper Energy as the last one. That's a special energy as an A-Spec. And then we've got the illustration rare. So again, not a ton of illustration rares, and this is probably my favorite illustration rare set that has ever been I think the illustration rares in this set are absolutely amazing, and I love all the different Pokemon in here. So I think Shiftry looks phenomenal. Grottle looks phenomenal. The Deerling and the Sawsbuck look way better than I thought they were going to. Like, even on the binder, like, you can just see, like, the artworks merging together. It looks absolutely fantastic. Litten over here. Snom looks beautiful. We've got Chargebug in the corner over here. Bronzor, Reuniclus, and Cutiefly looks really cool with the Picky Peck in the background there. I think it looks absolutely amazing. And then this page, we've got the Relicanth. Excadrill looks really cool with them, like, basically hanging out, almost like what you would do at a campfire or something like that. Mudsdale, this Arbok. Every time I look at this Arbok, I just love it even more. I feel really bad for this Toucanon right here. It looks like he's about to be some breakfast or whatever for that Arbok, but looks really cool. This Gengar, or this Ghastly over here, obviously phenomenal with the different stages. You've got Haunter in there, you've got Gengar in there, and Ghastly, obviously. The Metagross is really, really cool. Here's Meltan, Lickitung, Chatot. One of the things about Chatot is they form the musical notes for the Pokedex entry for Chatot. Just little things like that, which are really, really cool. Then you've got the Mincino, Cincino together in the binder. They look really cool, basically forming a picture together. Puff the Magic Drampa right over here looks really, really cool as well. Big fan of the illustration rares. And then you move into the full arts right here with Torterra and Iron Leaves, Incineroar, Gouging Fire, Walking Wake, Wugtrio. Here's your 2 Terra Pokemon right here, full arts, Wugtrio and Ferrigraph with the funny hats. It looks very, very simple, but I do like the future and ancient styles that we have in Paradox Rift and in Temporal Forces. So Iron Crown looks great. Iron Boulder looks great. You've got the full art Gengar right over here. I really wish Gengar would have gotten a special illustration rare, but at least we have the Morty, so that kind of helps a little bit. Here's the full art Scizor and Raging Bolt EX, and then you've got your full art supporters over here. There's only 6 of them in the set, so not too bad. Bianca's Devotion, Cypher Maniacs, Code Breaking right here, Airy, full art right here, Explorer's Guidance. This one was the one that took us the longest to pull for full art trainers. Morty's Conviction, Salvatore. Here are the special illustration rares starting right here, and again, only 10 of them in the set. Iron Leaves, this is currently the most expensive card in the set. Bianca's Devotion, the special illustration rare, seems like it's starting to catch Iron Leaves, but we'll see how the dust settles with that. Gouging Fire over there. Walking Wake is down in the corner over here. Sorry, it's not great quality. Iron Crown EX, Iron Boulder EX, and there's Raging Bolt EX right there. And then the last page finishes out our master set with the Bianca's Devotion up here. The Airy, which was the last pack that we needed to, or the last card that we needed to finish the master set, ended up being 1,851 packs when we finally pulled the Airy right there. Here's the Morty's Conviction, the Salvatore, which looks really cool as well, like the claymation style. And then you've got your hyper rares right here, only 6 of them. Iron Leaves, Gouging Fire, Walking Wake, Iron Crown, Iron Boulder, and Raging Bolt. No hyper rare trainers in the set whatsoever, and that's it when it comes to the master set, the Fan Clan master set. So like I said, I will rebinder this into the new custom binder that we have going for coming in hopefully tomorrow. But this is your master set. This is it. It took us 1,851 packs. There's a lot to digest with Temporal Forces, but make the best decision for you when it comes to spending your collection. It's fun opening cards, right? It just is. You want to make sure you make responsible decisions when it comes to spending your collection dollars, but it still is fun to open up packs. So opening up Temporal Forces is still fun. There's just some things that Pokemon has changed, and we'll continue to dive into the data and things like that over the upcoming couple of weeks to try and unpack the reasoning behind it all. But it's all very, very interesting. Temporal Force is still a fun set to open. Lots of really cool artwork, but I wanted to throw that information out there, so I hope you guys enjoy the content. Hit that subscribe button down below if you do. If you want to enter to win the master set, make sure you come back on April 5th. Leave a like and a comment down below so you can be entered in for that. I'll be back tomorrow with full pull rate data. Love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Until next time, peace.